Thank you. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a prolific passer in his days at Baylor. It's Bryce Petty.
One thing Bryce Petty knows, and that's patience. Coming out of high school, ended up having a gray shirt when he first got to Baylor. Then he had to sit behind two other quarterbacks while they got their opportunity before he finally hit the field. In fact, he had graduated from Baylor as an undergrad before he took his first snap as a starter for the Bears.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here we go. 3-19.
On second down now, Turner. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Petty now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Taken from just outside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They're led out by their quarterback from Newport Beach, stayed in California, played at USC. It's Matt Barkley.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win? Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was
no bottled up fumble. It's out, it's loose, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll run on first down. Turner. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On second down, Turner. Call it an 8-yard pickup, but it'll be third down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Here's Petty. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll keep it on the ground. Turner, and he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Hard throw, incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
David Johnson's play has forced us to talk about him as one of the premier running backs in the NFL. Good size, so he can run inside and break through some tackles. Also has excellent speed, so he can get to the perimeter, turn the corner, and make it into a big game. But he also relies on the fact that he was a college wide receiver at one point, and they can utilize him both out of the backfield and in the slot back position in order to get downfield and catch the football.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now Barkley. It's complete. It's Sproles. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion.
Let's go!
Here's Barkley. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Brandon, that play certainly felt like what I call a tendency breaker. 1st and 10, they dial up the draw play. That's not a normal situation, but give credit to the defense. They weren't fooled at all and really finished off the play.
Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And Dawson's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And New York set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want a drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants a drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
.44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is brought in at the 21. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Let's go. Green, 39.
And 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And now out come the Jets. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 3-3 our score. Back to Glendale after this timeout. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Now back to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. He'll look to throw here. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage, to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
The Jets on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to maneuver. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets are able to strike for 6. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now, what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers, and, you know, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
Let's see if he can do just that. Nothing fancy there, a little smash-mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut, as you described, and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll set up to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. His side, they've got the lead. But I think, he's not happy with how he's played. That's the bottom line. But how many adjustments need to be made when, bottom line, you're winning?
Yeah, you're just trying to play better for yourself, because if you do, then you got a chance to increase your lead and your team will play better. Look, when you fight your internal battle as a quarterback and you're not playing as well as you want to, just fall back on the old cliche. There's no I in team, but there's definitely one in win.
Look at that, Davis. Yeah, no I in team, but he'll see if he can pick himself up a little bit here on this drive. They'll look to throw, and he comes back with one complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
On third down, it's Turner. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Room here to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. To throw now on first down. And that is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down.
Partner, I know the ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
Jets on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19.
Let's go! 3-19!
He'll drop to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
The Cardinals on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that.
Here we go. 319.
Back to throw here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. He stiff-arms him. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap. to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. He'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. The Jets on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go.
They'll set up a throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And to give this time to the tailback. And nice yardage right off the bat here as he's up to about the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
So we've reached halftime with the visiting Jets on top. As we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Cardinals haven't played their best football and trail because of it. The Jets will want to come out after the half and really put the pressure on from the start. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. 2nd and 2 coming up. Here the pass goes to the sidelines. And he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 42-yard line. Jets now later on the drive. Turner is able to get clear of the defense, and this run goes for a touchdown. 3rd down, inches to go. Defense will get to the quarterback here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. That'll do it for us here at EA Sports Studios. Let's get back out to Brandon and Charles for the call of the second half. Brandon.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it a second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Green 39. Green.
And he can't bring it in. Incomplete. He dropped it on the crossing route. Fourth down now.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down, Turner. The ball comes out. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
So the offense avoids disaster, keeps possession. Now it's second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
He'll look to throw. They find some open field here. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. A check of the scoreboard there in the 3rd in Baltimore. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, he finds Henderson complete. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Here we go. Green, 39.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this one is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team is playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
He was looking for Chad Williams, and that'll make it third down. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And he fields it cleanly. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on the other side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
They're going to look to throw. And he loses the football a second time. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
They'll drop the throw. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20, the 40. He's at the 30, 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go. Blue, 90.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here we go.
Petty now. And he Drops that one incomplete there. Chad Hansen, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
They always say the real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there. Threw it behind him. Here's Paddock. And he slings one that's incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is taken at the 23. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now Barkley. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back?
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. And some room to work. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Let's go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And a sideline pass. That's caught by Thomas. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll make it a second down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch. Especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with third down coming up.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On third down. That's Turner, and he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the fourth and final quarter.
Let's go. Green 39.
Here's Barkley. Over the middle, complete. That's Henderson. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Fresh set of downs here.
All right, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
They'll look to throw here. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but They took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll set up to throw. They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a 1st.
What may seem a little unorthodox to some people, got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Here we go.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hansen. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down now, Turner, and he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the 2nd half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. This is taken at about the 14. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, if there's going to be casualties at times, we're trying to win a game.
And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. A very solid gain of 27. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be second down. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8.
Let's go. Green 39. Green.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 13 yards on the pickup, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Brandon, this is a good spot in the field to go for it. A lot of coaches call this no man's land. A field goal is no sure thing, and neither is a punt. They made the right choice, went for it, and picked up the first down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's got Fuller. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Let's go now. Check. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is alive. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And it's a touchdown for the Jets.
I
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Now let's go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 10.
3-19.
Back to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Now let's go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. This one complete to Sproles. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 24 that time. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So after the mistake by the offense, it cost him 5 yards. And now 1st and 15.
Now let's go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And his throw is incomplete. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long.
Set. Green 39.
Back to throw here. And that's incomplete. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. To throw again. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough,
That's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And New York set to take the field. They'll run on first down. Turner, and he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. On second down, Turner. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Third down. That's Turner. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold it.
He trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. They'll set up a throw. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down.
Let's go! 3-19!
They'll look to throw again. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 33, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defense.